Good afternoon. My name is Peter Kramer. I'm the chef manager for Mercy Rockford Health Systems at the Janesville Hospital, and we're going to start with a dessert for you today. For lack of a better name, this is called chocolate decadence. We'll just go ahead and fire this up. We'll get this started. Essentially what we have done is we've taken something that is kind of a more full-fat item, originally at 546 calories and 39 grams of fat, and we've pared it down to about 315 calories and about 11 grams of fat. First thing we're doing is a quarter cup of milk. Now, original recipe, this was a heavy cream, which you can probably imagine a lot of the difference there. We've got a tablespoon and a half of butter. I have a half an ounce of chocolate chips, semi-sweet. And then here we've got 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. We're just going to combine all of that together and bring it up to a point where it all melts together and has gotten hot, and the sugar's completely melted, the cocoa's all fully incorporated, and then we'll move to the next stage. All right, now that that's fully incorporated and melted and smooth and chocolatey and goodness, we're just going to let that sit for about 10 minutes to cool just a little bit so that we can add the additional ingredients. While we're doing that, we're going to get some ramekins out, and we're going to get those prepared and ready to take the dessert in preparation of baking. Just going to set this aside right now. All right, so in preparation for baking, I've got ramekins here. Now, I'm not going to assume everybody owns ramekins. I don't expect anybody to run out and buy ramekins. This is something that you can do in a muffin tin as well. Procedure on that: spray it with a vegetable spray, any kind of pan release spray. And then what you want to do is you want to take about not even a tablespoon, more like a teaspoon of sugar, and you want to roll that just around everything and get the edges good. Similar to, when you bake a cake and it says butter and flour the pan. Same idea. What you're doing is you're sort of putting a barrier between the cooking vessel and the product so that it releases easily. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that one. We'll do this one as well. Now, if I hadn't mentioned before, this recipe actually is scaled for 4 portions. If you need to do more, obviously you can scale it up. It should work just the same. All right. Those are done, and I believe that our time has elapsed enough that we can start with the rest of this. I have switched over to a whisk at this point, and I'm going to just get rid of this burner. Set it right on the table here. Now, what I'm adding now is I've got 5 tablespoons of flour. That's going in. I have 1 egg white. We've taken the yolk out of this. Again, this has reduced some of the fat in the product. You want to whip that up just a little bit to make sure that the yolk is broken up, or excuse me, the white is broken up. That's going in. This is the step that is why we're cooling things down, because you don't want that egg to cook in your chocolate. There we go, and then that's 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and I've also got, I added it directly to the flour. There's 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, just a little bit of salt. All right, now that that's finished, it kind of resembles a batter. That's what we're looking for. We're going to get this out of the way, and then in our prepared ramekins, we're going to dip roughly 2 tablespoons. Try to keep it in the ramekin. Don't get it all over your hand like I just did there. Roughly 2 tablespoons, and then we're going to do the same here. We're going to take about 2 tablespoons full of, again, semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're going to put those on top, and then we're going to cover this up. Now, when you do this at home, obviously you want to put your 2 tablespoons in all 4 ramekins. Put all your chocolate chips in all your ramekins, and then with the remaining amount, divide it evenly amongst the ramekins. You can go heavier on that if you want a slightly bigger thing. Just remember to, build up your recipe a little bit if you want to make these bigger. All right, so that's sort of the method on that. Once we're there, These will go into a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. If you're using a metal pan, like a muffin tin, I would knock it down to about 18 minutes. There's just a difference in cooking. Metal obviously transmits heat quite a bit better than ceramic. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get this into the oven, and then we'll show you a finished product. All right, through the magic of TV, these have been in the oven for 20 minutes. They're ready to go. This is kind of what they look like coming out. So what you want to do, once you pull them out of the oven, you want to let them sit for about 10 minutes, and then you can easily unmold them, which I've already done here. Set it on a plate. If you would like to do a little whipped cream, you can do a little whipped cream. I've done here just a simple strawberries. I topped them, quartered them up, sprinkled a little sugar on them, and actually I've put just like a tablespoon of Grand Marnier on there and let them soak overnight. Real nice flavor, goes really well with chocolate. So there you go, chocolate decadence. A little bit lower in fat, a little bit lower in calories. Overall, even with the whipped cream and the strawberries, you're probably looking at right around 500 calories. Not bad for a dessert.